Hello students, welcome to Science Learning Gateway. I hope you all are doing good. So today in this tutorial we are going to discuss class 8 geography chapter number 4 hydrosphere exercise question answer. In this tutorial I will explain each and every question answers given in the textbook and so that it will be easy for you to learn the answers. Once the answers you will understand, you can easily write those answers in the exams. So let's start with our discussion of question answers of chapter number 4 hydrosphere. If you want the explanation of this chapter, then you can comment in the comment section. I will upload you for that. And after that, only one chapter will be left from your geography section. Already three chapters video, three chapters explanation as well as the question answers I have uploaded in the playlist of class 8 geography. You can check over there. This is the fourth chapter which we are doing now. Okay, so before starting guys, I have a small request from you all. If you are really liking my tutorial, then please click on the like button and share it with your friends also, and don't forget to click on the bell icon so that whenever I will be uploading a new video, you will get the notification for that. And if you are new to my channel, then please subscribe it. Okay, so now let's start with our chapter. First question what we have first is the fill in the blanks. Okay, 5 fill in the blanks are given over there. So let's discuss the fill in the blanks. The first question is the average depth of the continental shelf is. Okay, what is the average depth of the continental shelf? It is 100 fathoms. Fathoms. Fathoms is the unit. Okay, so you have to remember it is 100 fathoms. Next one, the fathom is equal to dash feet. So 1 fathom is equal to how much? 1 fathom is equal to 6 feet. Okay, 1 fathom is equal to 6 feet. So remember that 1 fathom is equal to 6 feet. Okay. Third, the deepest place in the Pacific Ocean is dash. So what is the name of the deepest place in the Pacific Ocean? It is Challenger Deep. Okay, Challenger Deep. Next one, the average salinity of the ocean is. What is the average salinity of the ocean? Salinity, saline water, we know, no? So what is the average salinity of the ocean water? It is 35 ppt. What is the full form of ppt? Parts per thousand. Okay, ppt full form is parts per thousand. So it is 35 ppt. Now, during full moon, that tides occur. So during full moon, which type of tides occur? Spring tides occur during full moon. Okay. So these are the fill in the blanks. We have finished. Now we'll discuss the question answers of this chapter. So first question is what is hydrosphere? Okay, as the name of the chapter is also hydrosphere, so they have given one question from that, what is hydrosphere? So let's discuss this question. The hydrosphere is the most important layer of the earth. As we know, there are different types of layer of the earth like atmosphere, lithosphere, hydrosphere. About atmosphere and lithosphere we have read. Now this is hydrosphere. It is also one of the most important layer of the earth. Nearly 71%. How much? 71% of the total area of the earth is covered by water bodies. That's why earth is also known as blue planet. Okay. Out of this total percentage, 71% of the area is covered with water. Okay, that's why earth is also called blue planet, because all over more than half part of the ocean of the earth is covered with water. That's why the color of the earth will be looking like blue, so it is known as blue planets also. So nearly 71% of the total area of the earth is covered by water bodies. What are the water bodies? Oceans, lakes, rivers, ponds, etc. You can write the names of any water bodies. All these water bodies are known as hydrosphere. Okay, these oceans, lakes, rivers, ponds, etc. These are called the hydrosphere. So you have to remember that it is also one of the most important layer of the earth. 71% of the total area of the earth is covered by water bodies. Okay, 71% out of 100%, 71% will be water bodies, and rest of your 29% will be covered by the land. Okay, so 71% of the earth is covered by water bodies like oceans, rivers, lakes, etc. These water bodies, all these water bodies are called hydrosphere. Okay, next question. Mention the 4 major parts of the ocean floor. What are the names of the 4 major parts of the ocean floor? Continental shelf, continental slope, the deep sea plain, the ocean deep. Okay, first one is your continental shelf. Second one you have to write continental slope. Third is your deep sea plain, and the fourth one is ocean, the ocean deep. Okay, these are the 4 major parts of the ocean floor. Next, we have to write the differences between ocean current and tides. So for this, make 2 boxes, 2 columns, one for the ocean current and one for the tides. So first difference for ocean current, what we will write? Ocean currents are the movement of ocean water from one region to another region. Ocean current, okay, these what are ocean current? These are the movement of ocean water. When the ocean water will move, when the movement of ocean water will take place from one region to another region, then ocean current will be formed. The ocean currents are the movement of ocean water from one region to another. And what are tides? Tides are the periodic rise and fall in sea or ocean level. Like this, the tides are periodic rise and fall. This is rise and this will fall in the sea level. So these are called tides. Second difference, what we can write? Ocean currents are of two types, warm current and cold currents, right? And tide currents are also of two types, spring tide and neap tide. Okay. Ocean current is also of two types, warm current and cold current, and tides are also of two types, spring tide and neap tide. Next, question number 4. Distinguish between spring tide and neap tide. Now we have to write the differences between spring tide and neap tide. So first we will write for spring tide and then we will discuss about the neap tide. So what is spring tide? Spring tides takes place when the earth, the moon and the sun are in the same straight line. When the earth, moon and the sun, okay, earth, moon and the sun will be in a same straight line, that time spring tide will take place. Okay, earth, moon and sun will be on the same line, then that time spring tide will take place. Example, new moon and full moon. Okay, these are the examples of spring tide, new moon and full moon. When the spring tides take place, high tides are the highest and low tides are the lowest. Okay, whenever the spring tide will take place, the high tides will be the highest and the low tides are the lowest. Okay, this was all about your spring tides. So you have to remember in this one that when the earth, moon and the sun will be on the same straight line, spring tide will take place. Example, new moon and full moon. Okay, neap tides. Neap tides occur on the first quarter and last quarter days in the phase of the moon. When it will occur? It will occur during the first quarter and the last quarter days in the phase of the moon. During neap tides, the sun and the earth are in the same straight line and moon is in right angle to the earth. Okay, during neap tide, what will happen? The sun and the earth will be on the same straight line, but the moon is in right angle to the earth. Moon will be in right angle to the earth. This is a right angle. So it will be in the right angle to the earth. In this type of tides, the high tides are not very high and low tides are not very low. So what you have to write for neap tides? It will occur on the first quarter and last quarter in the phase of the moon. During neap tide, sun and the earth will be on the same straight line, but moon is in right angle to the earth. Okay, between the moon and the earth there will be some right angle, 90-degree angle. In this type of tides, high tides are not very high and low tides are not very low. So these are the differences between spring tide and neap tide. Okay, next question. How can we conserve the oceans? So we can conserve the ocean from the following methods. In your textbook 6 points are given, but it will be good that if you learn 4 to 5 points for this answer. Okay. So first point for this is oil transportation should be done through pipelines. Okay. If oil transportation should be done through pipelines, then what will happen? The wastage of oil during transportation should not be there. Through pipelines, it can easily be transported from one part of the area to the other part. Nuclear waste should not be dumped in the sea or ocean, since nuclear waste are very poisonous. So they should not be thrown or dumped into the sea or the ocean. In the sea and the ocean, aquatic plants and animals are there. They will be harmed because of this nuclear waste. Dumping of any waste near the ports and harbors must be controlled. Means near the ports and the harbors, we should not dump any waste or throw any waste. Ore deposition and mineral exploitation along the coast must be controlled. Along the coast, what people used to do? They used to ore deposition and mineral exploitation are done. Means they used to take out the ores and the minerals from the coast. That should be done in a controlled way. Okay, because it is also having impact on that environment. Exploitation and destruction of beaches must be controlled. The beaches should not be destroyed and exploited. That should be controlled. That should be done. That should be controlled to conserve the ocean. So these are the points by which we can conserve the ocean. At least 4 points you should remember for this answer. Next we have match the column. Okay, fathom. We will match fathom with what? Fathom we will match with depth of the ocean, because this is a unit by which we have to which is used for measuring the depth of the ocean, like that 100 fathom we have read in fill in the blanks, right? Oashio, what is Oashio? It is the cold current. Okay. Gulf Stream, east coast of USA, it is present in the east coast of USA. Sea mounts, deep sea plain. And Agulhas current, it is Indian Ocean, it is present in Indian Ocean. So this was your match the column. Now we'll discuss the question answers, discuss the some of the points where we have to write the definition, define the following. Fourth main. Okay, so the first word is continental shelf. Okay, so what is continental shelf? This is a shallow area along the sea coast. Shallow area like this. Okay, shallow area along the sea coast. This part is bordered by the sea coast on one side and continental slope on the other side. The average depth of the continental shelf is 100 fathom. This depth, it is 100 fathoms. The continental shelf is very important for fishing. Okay, why it is important? It is important for fishing, aquaculture, navigation and extraction of minerals. So this is the importance of continental shelf. So once again we'll discuss what is continental shelf. It is the shallow area along the sea coast. Okay, it is a shallow area along the sea coast. This part is bordered by the sea coast on one side, means one side we have the sea coast, and on the other side what we have? On the other side we have the continental slope. The average depth is 100 fathoms, and what is its importance? It is important for fishing, aquaculture, navigation and extraction of minerals. Next point we have salinity. What is salinity? Salinity, saline water, you have heard. Salinity means amount of salt present in water, that is called salinity. In simple terms, if you want to understand, that is, then it is amount of salt present in the water. Salinity is a percentage of salt dissolved in the sea or ocean water. So what is salinity? It is a percentage of salt. Okay, how much percentage of salt will be dissolved in sea or water, that is called salinity. The average salinity of the ocean water is 35 ppt. So what will be the average salinity of ocean water? It is 35 ppt, parts per thousand. The salinity of ocean water is very high near the tropics and it is very low near the poles, means the percentage of salt will be very high near the tropics and the percentage of salt will be very low near the poles. So this was all about salinity. It is a percentage of salt dissolved in ocean or sea water. The average salinity of seawater is 35 ppt and it is very high near the tropics and very low near the poles. Next one we have warm and cold current. So what are warm and cold currents? Warm currents originate and flow from the equatorial region to subpolar region. From where to where they will flow? They will flow from equatorial region to the subpolar region. Okay, warm currents will flow from the equatorial region to subpolar regions, and just opposite we have to write for cold currents. Cold currents originates in the polar regions and flow towards the equatorial region. Okay, the same you have to write, but just opposite. Warm currents originate and flow from equatorial region to subpolar region, and cold currents will originate and flow from polar region to the equatorial region. Okay, polar region to the equatorial region, that you have to write over there. Next, what we have, high tides and low tides. High tides are also known as flood tides and low tides are also known as EBB tides. Okay, high tides are also known as flood tides and low tides are also known as EBB tides. What is Benguela current? It is the South Atlantic Ocean cold current. Okay, it is the South Atlantic Ocean cold current. Next we have tides. What are tides? Tides are the periodic rise and fall in the sea or ocean level, like this. Okay, it will be periodic rise and fall in the sea level. Next, one more thing is given in your chapter, terms to remember. So once we'll discuss this terms to remember also, maybe questions will be asked from this also. So first one we have Gulf Stream. So what is Gulf Stream? Gulf is a part of an ocean or sea that penetrated into the land. It is smaller than a sea. Gulf. What is Gulf? It is a small part of ocean or sea that will penetrate into the land, that will go inside the land. It is smaller than a sea. Next we have salinity. Already we have discussed. It is a percentage of salt dissolved in the sea or ocean water. Warm current also we have discussed. These currents originate and flow from equatorial region to subpolar region. Kuroshio current. What are Kuroshio current? These are not Pacific Ocean warm currents. Okay, these are not Pacific Ocean warm currents. Flood tides are also known as high tides. And tidal energy, you all know the energy obtained from the tides is called tidal energy. So with this, we have finished the question answers of this chapter. If you have any doubt in any of the question, you can comment in the comment section so that I can be able to clear your doubt. Okay, and if you want the explanation of this chapter, please comment in the comment section so that I can make a video for that also. Thank you for watching my channel Science Learning Gateway, and if you like this tutorial, then please click on the like button and share with your friends also. It will motivate me to create more helpful content for you all. And don't forget to click on the bell icon so that whenever I will be uploading a new video, you'll get the notification for that. And if you are new to my channel, then please subscribe it, and you can also connect with me through my Facebook page. The link I will provide in the description box. Thank you for watching my channel.